At the wedding, Willow threw me aside and ran straight into the arms of her first love, kissing him passionately right in front of everyone. In my head, the system's voice rang out. Host, please retrieve the female lead and complete the wedding. Eyes read. I asked coldly, why the hell should I? Just then, the system zapped me again, pain surging through my body as I collapsed to the ground. But amidst the agony, a new voice, bright and mischievous, echoed in my mind.
Host, I destroyed that damn system.
Let's go. Time to wreck that shameless couple. I got up and realized that the pain from the electric shock had mysteriously disappeared. Chapter 1. My name is George. 3 years ago, I somehow got bound to a system. It told me I had to marry a target Willow, or I'd die. I didn't believe it at first. I cursed it out. Next second, it shocked the hell out of me. I hit the floor gasping, writhing in pain. From then on, every refusal, every insult, I got punished. I had no doubt if I kept resisting, it would literally torture me to death. So I gave in and started pursuing the target Willow. But this girl, she was a walking headache, overdramatic, spoiled, and worst of all, still hung up on her first love who'd been overseas for years. She treated me extremely badly, like a servant. And yet I couldn't turn against her. I could only keep simping for her like a dog, and I did that for 3 whole years. Finally, after all that simping, she agreed to marry me, just as we were about to exchange rings. The doors burst open. Makoto, her first love, had come back the moment she saw him. She dropped the ring, lifted her dress, and ran into his arms. They kissed like no one else was in the room. The entire hall went dead silent. Then came the whispers, eyes burning. I watched it all, and let out a cold laugh. And that damn system still barking at me to go talk Willow into coming back. Why the hell should I? Rage consumed me. Another electric jolt slammed me to the floor. But suddenly, all the pain disappeared. Just when I thought the system had grown a conscience, a cheeky female voice popped into my head. Host, that trashy system's gone. I wiped it out. I just couldn't stand its manipulative, coercive *T. Why bully the good guys? Screw that. Don't worry, host. I've got your back now. Let's go. Time to wreck that shameless couple. Chapter 2. The system's playful female voice filled me with a huge surge of encouragement. I sprang to my feet and strode toward those bastards. Willow, her cheeks flushed, was nestled in Makoto's arms. Noticing my furious glare, she remained unruffled. Smiling at me, she said, George, don't worry, I was just saying goodbye to him. Our wedding will continue shortly. Makoto, his face etched with resentment and sarcasm, retorted. He's the simp you were talking about. Other than looking like he's got some cash, there's nothing special about him. Willow giggled coquettishly and shot me a proud glance. He's far better than you. He never loses his temper with me, and he's been my simp for 3 years. Unlike you, after graduation, you quarreled with me and left the country in a fit of pique. Now you regret it, but it's too late. Oh, really? Then I must kiss you until I get my money's worth. Makoto laughed as he pinched her chin, oblivious to everyone around. The two of them began kissing again. The system was livid. These two really are a match made in hell. A bitch paired with a dog with nerve thicker than a bulletproof vest. Host.
Kill them.
I sneered as I advanced and grabbed Willow. She wore an expression of lingering delight. Hubby, you really love me so much that you can't wait to marry me. Let's go. She cooed. Smack. I raised my hand and delivered a brutal slap across her face. Everyone present gasped in shock. Willow was completely stunned without giving her a moment to recover. I began slapping her repeatedly from both sides. I was like a raging wild boar crashing through a fence, each blow loaded with all the resentment of the past 3 years, delivered with immense force. Her face swelled instantly, resembling a pig's head. Seeing this, Makoto tried to rush over to protect her, but I kicked him squarely in the groin. He let out a wolfish cry, clutching his injured groin as he collapsed in agony. Wow, host, you're amazing. The system cheered, its eyes sparkling with admiration. Just kidding. My years of karate training weren't for nothing. George, how dare you hit me? Willow shrieked, covering her face in disbelief and fury. I smiled slyly as I pulled out a handkerchief and wiped my hand. Hitting you just makes my hand feel dirty. Someone like you. In ancient times, you would have been drowned in a pig cage. It's like a toad kissing a frog. Not good looking, but acting like a player, I added. After unloading my barrage of insults, I turned and strode back to the stage without looking back. Surveying the chaotic mass of guests, friends, and relatives alike, I composed myself and picked up the microphone. Today, you've all been made to look foolish. I'm sorry to announce that this wedding can no longer continue. Instantly, the noisy banquet hall fell silent. As you can see, Willow has betrayed this marriage. From today on, I am officially nullifying our wedding. No more ties between us. The crowd erupted in shock. I smiled faintly and continued. As a gesture of apology, all your gifts will be returned double. Thank you all once again for coming. Bowing deeply, I stepped briskly off the stage. Fortunately, Willow and I hadn't yet registered our marriage. She had insisted on a wedding first. Who would have thought that this disaster would turn out to be a blessing in disguise? After all, I truly couldn't stand that disgusting woman. My parents rushed out to stop me, asking if I'd really thought it through. They had been extremely agitated ever since, 3 years ago, when I suddenly contracted that affliction and began obsessively chasing after Willow, a move they'd always disapproved of. They even threatened not to leave me the company if I went through with the marriage. I nodded. My father's eyes lit up as he gripped my hand tightly. Son, you've finally seen the light. But my mother looked disheartened, still in disbelief. My pursuit of Willow had been so absurd that it led to countless arguments with them. I once even braved a downpour to wait all night beneath her building, catching a high fever and missing an important company meeting, while Willow didn't even bother to check on me. My mother cared for me with all her heart, and my father, frustrated beyond words, had handed the company over to me long ago, never imagining it would come to this. Dad, Mom, it's all in the past. I won't mess up again.
You can trust me.
Before I could finish, Willow's parents hurriedly caught up. George, don't be angry and spouting nonsense. Just go back. Yeah, you upset Willow again today. In the end, aren't you the one who always has to smooth things over? Her mother's eyes glinted slyly as she resumed her old trick. How about this? You secure the villa next to the wedding suite and give it to us, and I'll put in a good word for you. Seeing these two arrogant, calculating people, I couldn't help but laugh. Back then, it was all because that damn system had bound me to Willow, forcing me even to curry favor with her parents. They were just ordinary working-class folks. Yet I'd spoiled them into thinking too highly of themselves. Later, they started bossing me around so much. It was as if they might as well have been shitting on my head, having grown accustomed to my submissiveness and endless concessions toward Willow. But now that annoying system is long gone. Host. I've never seen such shameless people go on. Curse them to death. Oh, just mimic what I did earlier. Chapter 3. Under the system's guidance, I slowly began to speak. You really tore the skin off your left cheek just to patch up the right. Half shameless, half thick-skinned. Stay away from me. I'm allergic to senior citizen dust. I'm not only refusing you any favors, but I'll also claw back every last cent of that $3 million bride price. Willow's whole family has been milking me dry for years. Money. Property. Even her brother's job was shoved into his hands thanks to my connections. They've taken every advantage possible, as if they've forgotten who the real money source is. Mister. Lou pointed an accusatory finger at my nose.
Seething.
Fine, fine. I'm just waiting for the day when you get on your knees like a dog begging for my daughter's forgiveness. My mom slapped his hand away and coldly warned, watch your mouth or I'll have someone take care of you. She'd always been disappointed in me, but still cared for her son. Isn't your boy always like this? Every time he clings to my daughter like a simp. What does it matter if your family's rich and powerful? With a love-crazed son like that, you'd better watch your step. We might just reconsider singing his praises. My parents were so furious they couldn't even manage a single retort. Yeah, for the past 3 years I've been even more shameless than a simp. But now that the dam system, which once threatened my life, has been wiped out, why should I fear any more begging? I kicked that old bastard aside without hesitation and pointing at his wife.
Warned. Get lost.
Keep harassing my folks, and I'll peel a layer of your skin off. Both of them shrank back in fear. Willow's brother, who had rushed over, grabbed at them, then spat venomously. You've really grown a backbone, George, believe it or not. Before he could finish his pathetic rant, I pulled out my phone and barked out orders. Remove Martin Liu from his managerial position and promote the assistant manager to full manager. Execute immediately. That worthless bum was nothing but a lazy slacker who managed to scam his way into a department manager post through my connections. He couldn't do a damn thing, so I even had to hire an extra assistant manager just to clean up after him. He used to pocket an effortless $50K a month without doing anything, but those good days are over. Martin's face turned incredulous as he threatened furiously.
You dare.
You think I won't make sure my sister never forgives you? I laughed. Even if the cheating duck got handed to me for free, I'd still find her filthy. What right does she have to talk to me about forgiveness? There's no damn way I'd ever forgive that the asterisk TCH got it. Get lost already. You're just making a fool of yourself, going around in circles like a naked clown on a grinding wheel. The three of them were fuming, and even as they scrambled off, they kept mouthing off. We'll be waiting for your entire family to come and apologize. My parents looked at me with worry and gritting their teeth, declared.
We're not going to apologize to you.
I smiled, draped an arm around my mom's shoulder, and replied, neither am I. Don't worry. They fell silent, their expressions filled with disbelief. As soon as I got home, Willow called. Her tone was as cold and narcissistic as ever. George, I know you're jealous over me today, but you shouldn't have hurt Makoto. Go to the hospital and apologize to him. If you do, maybe I'll forgive you for what happened before. I put the call on speaker. My parents listened anxiously, shaking their heads. Cut the drama. Makoto and I are a thing of the past. Once this is over, we'll schedule an even grander wedding. I promise I'll go register our marriage with you tomorrow. And since Makoto got hurt because of you, you're paying his hospital bills. For the past 3 years, no matter what conflict arose, I was always the one soothing her over. This was the first time she actually offered a way out. Everyone thought her concession was a favor to me, that it would cool my anger for good. Even my parents believed it after she finished her whining, following the system's guidance. I slowly spoke. Since you're at the hospital, you might as well go get your head checked. When I treat you like a human being, you insist on acting like a dog. What are you barking for? You're just like a mangy mutt that's eaten too much crap and can't help but burp stench across the phone and paying bills. Believe it or not, I'd kill you both and use the money to buy you a grave. Every word I spat left me feeling incredibly refreshed. Thanks, system. Willow was left speechless by my tirade, and my parents stared at me in disbelief. Anything else? If you're so bored, why don't you go find a tree to hang yourself from instead of harassing me on the phone? And while you're at it, use a toilet plunger to brush your teeth. Be a good little thing. With that, I hung up and blocked her. Before long, Willow, fuming, sent me a voice message on WeChat, cursing. What are you even pretending for, George? Do you think you can live without me? Listen up. You're nothing but a dog I keep, and you do exactly what I tell you. For years, I really was like a dog. Everyone used to joke with Willow that I was her rich, obedient mutt, and she even believed it. So today, she finally lost it and spat out such shameless trash. I replied lightly, you know you're just a pile of shit, so go ahead and treat others like dogs. At least now your priorities are clear. Sis, good luck. After sending that, I blocked her for good, leaving her no chance to pester me again. My parents, watching my string of actions, let out a huge sigh of relief. Son, you've finally come to your senses. I couldn't really explain and didn't want to worry them, so I just smiled and nodded. If it weren't for that brain-dead system that once bound me to Willow, I could have taken out 10 of her kind in a year. Chapter 4. After I had my lawyer reclaim the bride price and the marital house, Willow's family could no longer sit still. They all gathered outside my company, shouting for me. As soon as they saw me, Martin started yelling, "Brother-in-law, why did you call for my dismissal? Knock it off." My sister already admitted her fault. Hey, that was the first time that little punk ever called me brother-in-law. Willow's eyes were red as her parents pulled her aside and pleaded. "George, I know I was too spoiled before. You've beaten me and scolded me, but can't we just let it go?" Her parents nodded repeatedly. "Yes, we've already chewed her out pretty badly. Look at all the years you've been together. How can an outsider ruin it all?" They continued. "Our precious daughter has vented all her anger on you. We won't hold it against you. Let's call it even. Just as long as you agree to have the marital house changed to Willow's name and compensate us with 300. No, 800,000 for the bride price. We'll let you redo the wedding." Really shameless. Luckily, my parents had threatened them back then so they wouldn't take advantage of my villa. Otherwise, this situation would be downright disgusting. Seeing that I showed no reaction, Willow assumed I had softened. In a patronizing tone, she said, "Yes, as long as you agree and compensate me, I'm still willing to marry you. Otherwise, I'll never forgive you in this lifetime." The system chimed in.
Host, what exactly did you say back then?
Even now, she's acting like everything's fine. I scratched my head. Well, back when I was nearly electrocuted to death, I did say I'd die without you. I meant it literally, as in physically dying, but Willow's whole family took it to mean I was so in love I'd die for her. Ugh, that damn system ruins everything. Don't worry, host. No need to be embarrassed. The system soothed. Instantly, my spirits lifted, and I began to scrutinize Willow. Her frame was slight and scrawny, her skin dark, and her features could only be described as delicate. She did have a pair of moist, alluring peach blossom eyes, but while they appeared affectionate, they were in fact utterly devoid of warmth. There wasn't a single trait about her that attracted me. Thinking back on how that damn dog system forced me to fawn over her for 3 years made me want to vomit. Noticing me appraising her, Willow lifted her chin proudly and glared. "I told you, as long as you do everything I asked, we can still get married." I couldn't help but laugh. "Miss Lou, did that slap the other day really knock some sense into your head? Get your illness checked at a hospital. Don't come here barking like a dog. Everyone in your family. Back off, I have trypophobia. People with too many tricks in their minds make my skin crawl." I waved over security. "If this family shows up again, no need to notify me. Just kick them out immediately." As I was about to leave, Martin lost it and cursed. "Look at you. It's all your fault for cheating. You made me lose such a good job." Her parents joined in, blaming her. "Are you out of your mind? Why would you turn down someone with such good prospects to pick a pretty boy?" Willow exploded. "Makoto isn't a pretty boy. He's running an entire park overseas. He's 100 times better than this crappy corporation. George, don't you ever regret this?" she pleaded. I only smiled and replied, "It seems the one regretting isn't me." That very night when I got home, my parents happily uncorked a bottle of champagne. "Not bad. You actually held out for 2 weeks."
Good job.
They cheered. I managed a bitter smile. Changing 3 years' worth of stereotypes isn't easy. To avoid their interference with my parents, I moved back into a new villa by myself. The interior was decorated entirely to Willow's taste. But seeing her chaotic aesthetic, I called someone to rearrange it. They worked quickly. In less than a day, everything was replaced. I then lay back in my private bathtub, sipping red wine, completely at ease. System. Do you think Willow and her family have finally given up?
I asked.
Surely they won't come here to harass me again.
Right.
The system stayed silent for a moment. I called out a few more times until the system replied lazily. Then suddenly, Uha string of shrill screams startled me, followed by a barrage of over 10 different, non-repeating curses, typical of that perverted exhibitionist. I was completely stunned. System, why are you cursing me like that? And such filthy curses, I demanded. If you dare shout my name while you're bathing again, I'll kill you. The system gritted its digital teeth in fury. I began to feel uneasy. Honestly, I'd forgotten that the system's voice was female. After all, she was just a system. Seeing a woman shouldn't affect me.
Right.
As if she knew what I was thinking, she sneered. In the next second, an electric shock hit me, and I was plunged into the bathtub. After gulping down several large mouthfuls of water, I struggled out of the tub and tumbled onto the carpet. Gasping for air, I pleaded repeatedly. Dear lady, I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I promise I'll remember it from now on. After wrapping myself in a towel and soothing her with kind words for quite a while, she finally let out a reluctant hum of forgiveness. Rest assured, for now, Willow's family won't bother you again, she said. As she spoke, a video began playing in my mind. Chapter 5. Willow's whole family was having dinner with Makoto at the table. Her parents were furiously slandering me, calling me a heartless bastard while retelling the past 3 years of my simp history as if it were the saddest tragedy they'd ever witnessed. Her brother eagerly poured drinks and chimed in on cue. Willow looked at Makoto with teary eyes, her voice tender and affectionate. Makoto, I've always loved you all these years. It's just that Simp was too persistent, and you were gone for so long. I had no choice but to agree to marry him. Thank God we didn't register the marriage, or that bastard would have gotten benefit for nothing. Makoto leaned back in his chair, a cigarette between his fingers, smiling faintly. Good thing I heard you were getting married and rushed back. These years, doing business abroad wasn't easy, but I never stopped thinking about you. I was so devoted to work I didn't date anyone else. I just came back to see you one last time.
Once I saw you marry a good man,
I could leave in peace. With his slicked back hair, custom designer suit, and nonchalant demeanor, he really looked the part. Now and then, he casually glanced at his Vacheron Constantine watcher toyed with the Maybach keys on the table, drawing increasingly admiring glances from those around. Makoto. Only someone as big-hearted as you would let that crazy dog go if it weren't for his parents. That Simp wouldn't have money or status. Willow's parents were groveling, practically licking his boots. At their flattery, a flicker of displeasure crossed Makoto's face. He shifted uncomfortably, crossing his legs the other way. Guess I was too gentle with him before. My sister's lucky, Martin chimed in. To reunite with you before marrying the wrong man. He made sure to matchmake the two every chance he got. Makoto laughed heartily, promising to take Martin abroad with him to make big money. Martin, all fired up, shouted that they had to teach me a lesson before leaving. He just couldn't swallow this anger. Everyone else agreed enthusiastically, watching their scheming. I sneered. The system snickered. Host, you really did act like a brainless fool before. No wonder they think they can walk all over you.
Hee hee. Sigh.
Fair enough. The next morning, I was jolted awake by loud knocking at my office door. Boss Wong, you had your phone on Do Not Disturb, so I had to come find you. Ugh, my head ached. Must have been the wine last night. My assistant didn't even wait for me to get cleaned up. She dragged her laptop in front of me and shoved it at my face. Heir of Wong Corporation abandons woman. Drives her to suicide. On screen, Willow's parents sobbed dramatically beside a hospital bed. Willow lay pale on it, weak and frail. Her parents angrily pointed at the camera. I know rich men love to toy with women, but George chased our daughter for 3 years. He showered her with affection, held a whole wedding, then backed out at the last second. Do you think playing with someone's feelings is fun? Our daughter gave him her heart. Then he dumped her, and even had security kick us out of the company. What a cold-blooded man. The footage even included the scene of me ordering the guards to throw them out. On the hospital bed, Willow wept silently, lifting her bandaged wrist weakly. George, what did I ever do to deserve this? You've humiliated my entire family on the most important day of my life. If you want to play your little rich boy games, can you just leave me alone? Sob, sob, sob. Her cries and pitiful expression made it seem like she might crumble at any moment. The comments section exploded. Scumbag wasted 3 years of her youth. What's he gonna do to repay her? Poor girl, even try to take her life for this jerk. She should be compensated for emotional damage. Boycott this guy's company. He better apologize in public. Since the wedding had only involved close friends and family, no one else had seen what really happened that day. Everyone was arguing in the comments, but without evidence. It was just words against words. If you say the woman cheated first, where's your proof? Someone taunted. One sentence silenced my defenders. I rubbed my temples and turned to the system. System got any solutions? The system sighed dramatically. Host, what would you even do without me? Suddenly, the computer screen lit up with a perfectly captured video. It showed Willow running into Makoto's arms, kissing him passionately on the wedding day, then her grinning as she said, George, don't worry, I'm just saying goodbye to him. Our wedding continues in a bit. The video continued to show them mocking me. That's Simp. He's got money and no temper. Licked my shoes for 3 years. My assistant, shocked but quick on her feet, uploaded the footage to my personal account. Miss Liu, our boss originally wanted to give you some dignity and end things peacefully. But now you brought this on yourself. The internet saw everything. Willow's clingy, fawning face toward Makoto, their arrogant trash talk, and finally, the part where I slapped the fake princess and kicked the smug gigolo. Public opinion began to shift hard. Damn right. He should have hit her harder. Seriously, can y'all stop believing every sob story without seeing both sides? That girl's so nasty. If it were me, I'd have gone after that cheating pair with a knife. Chapter 6. No matter how much scheming they did, they never expected I'd have video evidence. The wedding videographers that day had clearly stated they didn't capture those scenes, but they didn't know I had the system on my side. Public opinion turned harshly against the Liu family. Under intense scrutiny, they had no choice but to discharge Willow from the hospital overnight and start plotting a new counterattack. Soon, they launched a fresh round of slander. On camera, Willow cried, claiming I had forced love on her, using money and power to pressure her into submission. Martin, her brother, even swore he bent the rules to make me marketing director just so he could keep my sister close. We're just an ordinary family. We couldn't fight back, so we could only convince our daughter to go along with it. They even released a new video as evidence, footage from the past 3 years of me. In it, I was shown begging Willow to marry me, telling her I'd die without her. I agreed to all her unreasonable demands until she brought up her dream guy. My expression darkened as I told her to forget about him. At the time, my mind was full of curses. If it weren't for that damn system, who cares how many damn exes she had? She agreed to marry me. That's it. I didn't need to hear her emotional drama because of that bottled-up frustration. I came off as irritable, clingy, and even looked like a controlling freak or abusive boyfriend. It doesn't matter, Willow, I said in the clip, gripping her shoulders, eyes bloodshot. As long as you marry me, I'll treat you right. You'll forget about him. In everyone else's eyes, I looked deranged. Sure enough, public opinion swung back around. This guy's sick in the head. She literally told him she loved someone else, and he still forced it. That look in his eyes, creepy as hell. She was obviously coerced. The internet forgets fast. Just days ago, they were bashing her for cheating on me. Now they were saying I was the problem, that Willow had only cheated because she was trying to escape my control. Total contradiction. Yet everyone still bought it. That's the price of lies. Cheap to tell, expensive to prove wrong. Her parents jumped in once the drama heated up again. Actually, it was us who called Makoto back. We wanted to rescue our daughter from that hellish relationship. We underestimated George's vindictive nature. He didn't just beat and humiliate them. He threatened to kill them if they stayed together. Our poor girl had no choice but to attempt suicide. All we ever asked was for compensation. Was that so wrong? A good chunk of people bought the sob story. They said Willow just wanted to escape my grip, and I hit her at the wedding out of rage. Some even claimed I was responsible for her attempted suicide, that I was just another possessive, manipulative rich guy. He should pay up youth compensation, emotional trauma fees. They turned into an army for the Liu family. My parents, fuming at the headlines, wanted to sue for defamation but had no direct proof. All they could do was angrily ask, "Do you really have to pay them?" I smirked. "Yeah, I do, but I'm the one collecting." The system popped up with footage of the Liu family cornering me at the company gate. The video showed them first forcing Willow to apologize, then boldly demanding my house and $8 million in bride price as compensation to let us continue the wedding. Willow's smug, self-righteous attitudes sparked public rage. When I slapped her and called her brain damaged, people cheered. This family is shady AF. I'd have claustrophobia too if I had to be near people like them.
Wait.
He told them to stay away. How is that forced love? He's dying to get away from this family, not the other way around. And they even threatened him.
Disgusting.
Truth was finally revealed. My assistant giggled gleefully. "Boss Wong, why didn't you show this earlier?" I waved a hand. "Have someone edit it into a highlights reel. Pay for extra coverage. Put it everywhere. Zoom in on that kiss between Willow and Makoto at the wedding. Slow motion. HD. Let the public really enjoy the show." She nodded enthusiastically and ran off with her laptop with the full weight of Wong Corp's PR power behind it. Soon the entire internet was flooded. Shocking. Gold digger cheats on wedding day, humiliates fiancé, and extorts his family. Screens in every public square played footage of Willow's betrayal, her family's extortion, and my slap heard round the internet, complete with voice-over explanations of why I slapped that cheating pair. The Liu family's reputation was ruined. They lost every shred of dignity they had. I didn't care. Worst case, a bit of green on my head. After all, if you want to survive life, you've gotta wear a little green sometimes. I survived 3 years of electric shocks. This child's play. As netizens dug deeper, the Liu family's dirty laundry was aired in full. People camped outside their neighborhood, trying to get interviews. Everywhere they went, they were pointed at, whispered about. Eventually, they had to go into hiding, too ashamed to even go home. I officially filed a defamation lawsuit against them for spreading lies and damaging my reputation and my company's. The court ordered them to pay damages, and it hit hard. They had to sell their house, pawn their belongings, and even borrow money from Makoto just to scrape together the fine. Now homeless, the entire family shamelessly begged Makoto to take them in. In their eyes, he was their son-in-law. Future husband and brother-in-law all rolled into one. Makoto didn't turn them away. He arranged for them to stay in a suburban villa. "Uncle, Auntie, it's just temporary. Once we get our visas, we'll leave the country together. No more gossip, no more pointing fingers. We'll live a good life overseas." The family clung to this new fantasy of luxury abroad, showering Makoto with praise. Wrapped in the sweet illusion of love and escape, Willow couldn't help but send me one last message. "I'm doing just fine without you. You were my simp for 3 years and got publicly cheated on."
Serves you right.
Chapter 7. I didn't respond. There was no need to. The system's lazy voice drifted out. "Host. Really not going to save her." I shook my head. "You brain-dead idiot. Put out that cigarette," she snapped before changing the subject to Makoto's latest movements. As expected, he was taking the Liu family abroad that very night. Sure enough, in the middle of the night, I received another message from Willow. "Goodbye, you pathetic simp. I'm flying off to a beautiful foreign land to start a brand new life. You know what? For 3 years, I never gave myself to you, but just now, I gave everything to Makoto. He's the kind of man worthy of me. You never were." I chuckled and blocked her new number. "Oh, hope you'll keep that same confidence later." Half a month later, a domestic news outlet exposed a serious overseas fraud case. Someone had been lured abroad by a friend and nearly lost their life. Thanks to incredible guts, determination, and sheer luck, they had managed to escape and get help from the embassy. On screen, the men looked pale, disheveled, haunted. They said we'd make big money overseas, live the good life, but it was AF*King nightmare. Don't trust anyone who promises fast wealth abroad. Think 3 times before you go. There's no such thing as free lunch. Once you're in someone else's turf, no one can save you. Please learn from me," he babbled on, panicked like a rabbit freshly traumatized. I grinned. and asked the system. So how do you think Willow's family is doing right now? She smirked. You want to see? I nodded.
I didn't respond back then.
Time to give her an answer. A visual feed appeared. A dim, damp room. Willow was curled up in a corner, barely clothed, bruised all over. I asked calmly, so, enjoying that new life of yours? Makoto treating you well? She jolted, eyes wide with fear, frantically looking around. She gulped, then whispered hesitantly, George? Before I could reply, she broke down, screaming for help.
Please, save me.
Makoto's not some park manager, he's working with a local underworld. He tricked us all here to do slave labor. My parents couldn't even use a computer. They've already been taken away. I asked about Martin. She froze. Something flashed in her eyes. Trauma. She clutched her head and screamed. No, don't hit my brother. Don't hurt him. Her shouting brought someone to the door. Moments later, she was dragged out and beaten brutally. A man crouched down, lifting her chin. His grin was cruel. Makoto, why don't you listen, baby? He purred. Willow's mouth bled as she shrank into the corner, shaking her head. Clearly used to this, Makoto wiped his hands, spat on the ground. Your brother pissed off the boss. Unless you want to end up like him, you better think fast. For old time's sake, I'll keep you around for a while. No promises after that. Once the door slammed shut, Willow collapsed, sobbing on the floor over and over. She whispered, George, are you still there?
Please save me.
I don't care if you forgive me. I just don't want to die, Makoto. He's a monster, I replied coldly. This your so-called brand new life doesn't look that beautiful to me. She seemed to sense I was still there. Her eyes lit up and she started apologizing again and again. I had already asked the system to locate her and call the police. Thank God she was still in a motel, not completely lost. Don't worry, you're not a good person, but I'll do what I can to help. Until then, just keep Makoto happy, so he doesn't beat you to death. I cut the connection. A few days later, Willow was rescued thanks to the system's pinpoint location. Her parents were also found and pulled out from another location. Only Martin was on the brink of death when they got to him. That pampered brat had a nasty temper and a foul mouth. He pissed off the wrong people and was nearly beaten to death in a remote compound. Thankfully, they all made it out alive. Makoto captured, and he'd be rotting in prison for a long, long time. On the screen, the Liu family kept thanking the country. Only Willow sobbed uncontrollably, whispering I'm sorry over and over to the camera. I closed the laptop with a smile and turned to the system. Why haven't I heard you cursing people lately?
She huffed.
Maybe because we're doing something more meaningful now. Thanks to her help, we reported multiple illegal operations and saved dozens of victims. I looked up and said sincerely, Thank you, system. She mumbled sleepily in response, then went quiet. From that day on, no matter how many times I called her in my mind, she never answered again. Chapter 8. After losing the system, I threw myself into work, refusing to rest, numbing myself with endless tasks. When I couldn't sleep at night, I drank, smoked, and kept to myself. My parents noticed something was wrong. They figured it was time to introduce me to some new girlfriends. I didn't refuse. During countless blind dates, I found myself subconsciously calling out in my mind, Hey, what do you think of this one? Doesn't she kind of look like Willow? This one?
Nah.
Feels like she's only here for the money. This girl's cute. Should I try giving it a shot? She's gentle.
Pretty.
And comes from a good family. If you keep ignoring me, I might actually date her. You know where did you go? I don't think I can live without you. Despite the dating, I kept finding reasons to walk away. Eventually, my parents had enough and called me home for dinner. All those girls we picked are top-notch, my mom said. Even if they care about money, so what? We've got money. As long as she treats you well, that's what matters. She's marrying you.
She's gotta want something, right?
I sighed, rubbing my temples. It won't work. They're too shy, too gentle, too obedient. When I pretend to grab their hand, they don't even scold me. I smoke, and they just watch. They don't even tell me to stop.
I don't like that type.
I like someone who yells at me, someone who bosses me around. Yeah, someone who always calls me a pig-headed idiot. That last line officially made my parents think I was mentally ill. They exchanged deeply worried glances and silently reached a mutual agreement. We'd better take him to the hospital, a whirlwind of appointments. Brain scans, full body checkups, results. I was perfectly healthy. I smiled bitterly, trying to reassure them. Mom, Dad, I'm really not sick. We've done every test already. Let's go home. But my mom huffed. You haven't gone to the psych department yet, and dragged me there too. After a full psychiatric evaluation, the doctor reported. Aside from poor sleep, he's normal. Just then the door burst open. A middle-aged woman stormed in crying, clutching a piece of paper. Doctor, you have to help my daughter. What's wrong with her? The doctor blinked. Didn't she wake up a week ago? The woman sobbed harder.
She did.
But ever since she woke up from the car accident, she's been talking nonsense. The doctor unfolded the paper and read aloud, frowning. Host, that damn system is gone. I destroyed it.
Charge.
Wreck that cheating couple. You, pig-headed idiot, put out that cigarette. Call me while bathing again, and I'll kill you. The woman broke down, wailing louder. Doctor, my daughter's brain must be damaged. Please, save her. But I could no longer hear anything around me. I stood up, pushed the door open, and there, on the bench outside, was a frail girl hooked up 2 and 4, her head wrapped in gauze. She was pale, small, her long black hair hung smoothly over delicate features. The moment she saw me, her dull, grayish eyes lit up like stars. I walked toward her and sat beside her. Our eyes met. She looked at me and suddenly smiled. Host, you came to psych too. Life been hard lately. My eyes stung as I pulled her into a tight embrace. Yeah, I've been doing really bad.
I kept thinking about you.
Thought you were playing hide and seek with me. She froze for a second, then gently hugged me back.
Wow.
And you still found me behind us. Her mother and my parents stood dumbfounded. Anna, who is this? George, who's this girl? We looked at each other. Hands interlaced.
Mom.
Dad, you don't have to set me up on blind dates anymore. She's the one I've been looking for all along. Anna giggled and playfully punched me. Mom, this is the guy who stole my soul. We looked at each other and laughed. Actually, we've known each other a long time. This is just the first time we're meeting in person. No one's cursed me in weeks. It's unbearable. Quick, yell at me a little. I teased. She smacked me in the chest with a grin. Get lost, idiot.